Hello everybody, Jim Malone here, coming to you live from Dallas trading floor. It is a Friday, and this is the day that Tesla goes into the S&P. So it's kind of a big deal today. That's going on. I'm going to have a little video here, right before, so we can kind of get an idea of, there we go. Of kind of how I am going to be trading it, and then we'll get into the rest of the stuff. But here, without further ado, is how I'm going to be setting my stop loss on Tesla. I was already stopped out of one of my positions, and I still have one in. But this is a pretty good idea of kind of how I'm playing Tesla right now. Hello, everybody. As you know, Tesla is going to be officially entering the S&P index today, December 21st. And this is also a quadruple witching day. That means that there are options both quarterly, weekly, and monthly, as well as yearly options, all expiring on the same day. So it's going to be a very busy day on the last 5 minutes of trading. And the systems may lock up and not allow for options for orders to be placed. So what I recommend doing is putting in a stop limit order that hopefully will protect you against any very quick movements in the stock price. And I'm going to show you how to do that here. This is an intraday chart of Tesla that I just took a few minutes ago, and I kind of want to show it to you. It has made a high right here of about 684, but it is trending downward, as you could see. Now the question is, how is it going to do when the last 5 minutes of trading goes? I believe a good place to put the stop loss is going to be right about at this level, and that is about between 660 and 680. I'm looking at about 665 for that stop loss. If we're able to maintain through the pullback, I think that the best place to protect yourself will be right about at this level, as you can see, because I do think even if there's a pullback, it seems to be some support here, and it probably is going to move higher. So we don't want to be sold out, but we want to protect all the gains that we've got. So this would be probably an ideal place at about 665 here for the stop loss to be set. Here are the steps that I'm using to set my stop loss. First, we go to the trade key. Then we go to stocks and ETFs. Then we set the action to a sell. And then the quantity, in this case, it's 50. The symbol, of course, is Tesla, TSLA. We then, on the order type, and this is very important, we go to the stop market, and this will activate if it goes below 665. It will definitely sell. So we're going to put that activation price in at 665. And I'm also going to put in the good till cancel as well. That day will work. And then we're going to go ahead and review the order. And this is going to show as a sell 50 shares of Tesla at a stop market price with an activation price of 665 for the day. And then you just go ahead and place that order. That's all there is to it. This will protect you on the downside in case there's a snapback at the end of the day of trading on Tesla. Hey, thanks everybody for holding on while I showed you that little video. I did get stopped out of Tesla. You know, it's amazing. I got stopped out at 665. So I just still have one other small position in Tesla. But, for lack of anything else, let's get into the slides and kind of run through those and see how it's trading today. So, basically this is the market direction is is still up. We're seeing some pretty good motion on the NASDAQ. Now the Dow pulled back, and that's really based on some of the stimulus talks that that may or may not happen. So, that's an issue there with that. But, the S&P 500 is off, as we said before. The Dow Jones is off. And again, I did, just a few minutes ago, I sold my Tesla at 665. So hopefully that was right, and I didn't get too far ahead of the gun. I'm probably going to buy it back on the other side, but I do kind of expect that by Monday we probably will see a drop. Who knows? The last 5 minutes of trading today is going to be rather intense, because that's when a lot of the funds are going to have to get into it. But I do anticipate that a lot of people were anticipating this, so I do kind of expect that there may be a little bit of a pullback there. So I just kind of wanted to, take those profits and then possibly move back in if they're lower. So hopefully I'm right on this, and if I am, it'll be great. If not, oh well. I did make some money on it. Here's the NASDAQ, just taking this a few minutes ago. We're still moving up nicely at 12,729.32. So we are off though, but we still have that upward trend. So there has been a pullback on the NASDAQ, and who knows what's gonna happen on Monday. I do expect that we may be seeing a little bit of pullback. Then hopefully it will move. It'll move up once again, but that's sort of the trend on the NASDAQ Composite. Now let's take a look at the S&P. This is the one that I'm more concerned with. It's pulled back a little bit. Now the key level on this is about 3,600. We're at 3,690, so we're good to go there. But there has been a bit of a pullback. I think a lot of people were anticipating, Tesla, and we're anticipating, the Tesla buying. The question is, where is that going to end up? I decided that I would take my profits at 665, wait to see what's going to happen, and then possibly go from there. So that's kind of where I'm playing it. When this slide was taken, it was right at 665, and as you can see, it did move up, but then it pulled back. So I do kind of expect a little bit of a consolidation right around here, and then probably it will move up again. We have some very strong, action on it. It's up about, in terms of volume, 102% over the 50-day moving average. So quite significant when it comes to Tesla now. But of course, this is the day that the funds are going to have to buy the index funds are going to have to buy in. So just to give you kind of a recap of my current holdings, basically I'm still in Cloudflare. It's done tremendous. Tupperware's up again today. It seems to go up and down, but not a lot of volume, not a lot of Blink Charging for some reason is doing very, very well. I'm also in Progeny. It's up. A little bit down on Apple. Kind of a little disappointed. There's it really needs to. It's right at that 125 level, punching through. So hopefully it'll go higher. Down a little bit on Palantir, but I'm still at the $25 level, so I'm pretty confident of that one. Down a little bit on the GNEB, which is a biotech. Fiverr, it was up strong. It's funny. I cut my position in half on the small portfolio, and then of course it went right up. So, but I'm still in it. It's up $6.16 today, with tremendous volume. So, there you go. Earlier when this was taken, Tesla was about 668. It's pulled lower than that right now, and getting ready for that inclusion into the S&P 500. Twilio is up again, which is nice. NEO's looking good. So is GBTC, up nicely. And then I have a position in Zscaler. It's just rocketing up about almost 5%. So pretty exciting there in terms of those. Well, without further ado, let's get to the questions. And let me pull this up. Thank you for waiting on this, and hopefully you're hearing me now. I had a little bit of issues with the microphone today, so apologize. Hey Jim, got in at 43.50. Thinking to add to my position, even though I'm not sure what Matt, what were you in at 43.50? I don't know unfortunately what you're in. I'll go to the next question. Sorry about that. Okay, Tesla sell. Well, let's look at Tesla right now. Again, I did sell my Tesla basically at 665. That's where I decided to get off the merry-go-round. Let's see where it's headed. Yeah, it's pulled back a little bit. I was kind of afraid of this was going to happen. That's one of the reasons I did the stop limit. We're down a little bit at 641. Let's kind of look to see kind of how it's trading on the 10-minute chart. Yeah, there was definitely, yeah. You see, this is where I got this is where I got sold out right here at this level right here. This is kind of where I saw some of the resistance. That's why I did place the stop loss right there. And it looks like it has moved a little bit lower, but it's pulling back up. So who knows? I mean, it's going to get very, very volatile. But right now, it's trading down a little bit. At 637. So taking it down a little bit. Let's look at the weekly chart. Still a stellar chart, 99 rating. I'm going to probably be back in this. I just wanted to, do a little bit of profit harvesting there on that as well. So hopefully some other people were able to see that video. I did post it on YouTube, but only about 30 minutes ago. So sorry, it was a little bit fast. Okay, great. Thank you, Harris. Palantir, credit sys lower the target to 13 and said sell. What are your thoughts? Well, I still like Palantir. It was off a little bit today, but let's look at it. PLTR. Sometimes, I can't remember what the analyst is on Tesla for years, for like months and months and months. He said, well, target price is $90, and it was like making new highs. So, sometimes you can't totally put your total faith in these guys. Totally. It's still pretty nice though at 26. I don't see it. Well, let's see if we have any sell off here. Well, we do have a little bit of a pullback, $1.10 today, but I think as long as we're above this 21-day line here, this is the green line here, I think we're okay. So here's what I would do, Harris. I would set a stop loss at 24.26, and I think that might be a good place. Sort of a line in the sand there, in case there's some short-term movement back. But I do think that the closer we get to that, the more likely it is to bounce. So I think it may pull back to this line, and then hopefully it will just pull back like that, and then it will move higher. That's what I'm hoping. Let's look to see. I know that Credit Suisse doesn't like it, but the checklist is still acceptable at 6 out of 9, and we do have increasing fund ownership. So stay tuned. I may revise on this one. I may revise my view, but I'm still relatively bullish on it, and I do hold it in the small portfolio. So it has been pretty good. So just kind of stay the course as you were. Okay, thanks for also talking about NEO. I'm also in NEO, so let's look at NEO. NIO, of course, is the symbol there. Yeah, we're pulling up today on NEO. So what's my target on this? Well, let's go to the weekly to kind of see, what we're looking at. Okay, yeah, this was a pullback to the pullback to the 50 days here, right about 40. It's up about 46. I don't think it's slowing down. I think it bounced off of this, and I think it's going to be in this channel here. So I'm trying to draw the channel as best I can here. I think this is essentially the channel that it's going to be in. So I see it kind of in a range here from about 60 up here to about 40, and I think it's on the upward trend at least for a few days. So I suspect going into the year, we're likely to see NEO move up to about this line. So that's my take on it. There's not really a good buy point. The only real buy point is a reversal of that 21 days. So let's go to the daily chart and kind of show you that. Yeah, as you can see, it kind of. Let's go back to the weekly to show you kind of where that point is. There's really not a good buy point on this. The only real buy point is this. Is the 50-day right here. So that's really the only good buy point. It's about $40. So currently it's at 46. So we're a little bit extended there. Unfortunately we're a little bit extended on that one. So let me see if I can pull up the small portfolio and kind of give you an idea of sort of, you know, where my entry points were. And I can't remember all of these off the top of my head, so that's why I kind of have a cheat sheet here with you know, with the small portfolio. But I'm definitely in NEO, and I was at NEO at 43. So I'm, you know, I'm up just a tad, not a lot, about 7%. So that's not too bad. I just really don't think that I really think the only buy point really on this is about 40. So that's really, really tough. I've set up my stop loss a little bit here to 44. So you know, we'll see what happens there. But you know, that's really the only place I can see a decent you know, a decent buy point is at about 40. So not necessarily really what you wanted to hear, but that's kind of where I think it's going to be. So let me get to some of the TikTok. Pete, thank you for holding out. Can we buy Apple at this price? Well, let's take a look at Apple to see kind of what, you know, Apple's been pulling back a little bit. Again, I always like to see it move. I like to buy an upward trend. You know, that's always the best, always been the best for me. So I'm going to take a look at the daily chart here. Now, normally you would start out with the weekly, but in this case, you know, let's take a look at the daily chart to see the there isn't the buy point is at 137.98, but we're well below that. But there is a sort of this intermediate. It's not a true buy point, and as you can see, it's right at about 125.39. So there seems to be a little bit of consolidation right in here. You know, right in this area. Okay, come on. There we go. Yeah, it seems to be right in this area. So once we can get out of this little consolidation area, then I think we're headed up. But this is the trend of Apple, at least in the short term, because we've broken out above this 125 line. So you know, I do think that you can buy at this point. It's not that extended at 126. So I definitely think you can buy at this point. This is not going to be as fast a moving stock as like a Tesla or something like that. But I do think that you know, we should see a retake of the 137 mark that was made on August 31st. As you know, on August 31st, that's when the stock split 4-for-1, and essentially has not been able to equal that price since. Now, if we're buying above 125, we're buying it a little bit too early, but I do have confidence that it's going to move over that. So my short answer to you is yes, you can buy it in this price. Now let's look at just some of the fundamentals, just to make sure that I'm not totally all wet here. 83 on the relative strength. That is good. I like to see 80 or better. The checklist is strong at 7 out of 9, and we have increasing fund ownership. This is also one of the most widely held stocks in the world, so it tends to have a lot of good support. It's not going to move as fast typically, but it should be very, very good in that. Okay, so let's take the next question. NEO. Oh, okay, we already did NEO. Sorry. Hi, Jim. Thanks, Siad. I've subscribed to your email list, but I only receive it once in 3 weeks. Ouch. Okay, well, I don't know why that's the case. I'm working on my my email list. You should be receiving it more than that. What if you could go to the website www.DallasTradingFloor and put in "Ask a Question," and that would help me because that gives me your address so that I can send you, make sure that you're on all of the lists. So I appreciate that. Unfortunately, the email system that I'm using, if you don't open the emails within a week, then it says that you're not interested and it stops bugging you. Unfortunately, sometimes that's a problem. So I'm going to try to it takes you off the email list. So if you could go to www.DallasTradingFloor and then just go ask a question and then put that information in there, that would really help so that I can get that done for you. I'm sorry that it's not working as well as I would like it. I'm trying to get all the systems kind of meshing together. We're going to be coming out with a new website and and see where that's going. Next question, Katrina, thank you. Did Nike split yet? I don't think Nike is split yet. Let me take a look to see on the split calendar. And I just kind of want to bring this up to make sure that we're yeah, stock splits calendar. Okay, let's look at the NASDAQ stock split calendar. Pull this up right now, and then I'm going to put Nike NKE. Let's see. Right. Let's see if it has indeed pulled up. I'm not looking. Okay, so today. Okay, so let's look. I think it may be. I thought it was yesterday. I'm not sure about that. I don't think it's happened yet. And unfortunately, this is giving me too specific of information. Well, you can definitely look it up. I'm not following it right now because I'm not doing a stock split on this one this time. But I don't think it has yet has split. Let me see if I can find out. NKE stock split. Let's see if we've got that. Okay, so this is the. Okay, so somebody's going to have this information in here. Gosh. Well, heck, I am not seeing that, so I'm sorry about that. I'll just have to unfortunately move on, and we probably can find this. I know. I don't think it is split yet, though. I don't think it's a split. It's supposed to. It's supposed to split. Its earnings are due, I think, tonight on it, so it probably will be after that. So, anyways, let's take a look for Mega Homes at Upwork to see kind of what is brewing there. UPWK. Now, I am in a companion stock to this. I'm in Fiverr, which is similar to Upwork, not quite the same. Upwork's looking nice. I mean, it's up today strongly, and this has got a good story on it. So let's look at the weekly chart to see. Yeah, okay. So we have a very strong relative strength at 98. That's great, and we have nice increasing sales. It's profitable, which is always nice, and we've got the increasing fund ownership. So all of those are looking good, of course. Now, the question is it buyable? Well, it certainly is. 8 out of 9, so that is good. Let's look at the fund. Okay, so that's good. So now the question is, if we're not in it already, let's see if we can find an entry point for it. Well, the last consolidation base was at 1759, and we're at 40, so we're very, very far extended above that. And it looks as if it's just marching right up the 10-day line here. Okay, so it's not really, this is not a great place to buy it. The last the good place to buy it was at about 35.66. It's a little bit above that. Now, if it corrects down to about this 35.66, then I think you might have something. But unfortunately, this is continuing to move up. It's a great stock, but there's just not a good buy point. Now, the reason that you don't want to buy too far extended above the buy point is that it would have a tendency to pull back hard on you if the stock sells off. So, unfortunately, the best place to buy this would be about 35.66, and we're unfortunately a little bit extended from that. So, it's a great stock, but I don't know if there's a place to buy it, unfortunately. Oh, I thank you very much, Kian. Nike splits on December 24th. Earnings is today. Yeah, my plan is to buy on Monday, and so, yeah, that's a very good. The way, and I may put out a little video on this because stock splits, as everybody knows that's been watching me for a while, are a great opportunity to make money, because typically what will happen on a stock split is the stock will move up into the split, and then the day before it reaches its height, and then when it splits, then it typically pulls back. So I am that's very good information. I'm going to try to put together a chart school for that for maybe next week. That's a really good plan, and I definitely think that's a great plan. to do that. So let's take a look at somebody from TikTok. When you put here's a question: when you put a stop loss and it stops where you want it to, do you have to buy it again? Okay, I don't think you understand exactly what a stop loss is. What a stop loss is it's a stored order. It's kind of like I used to be a programmer, so there's a thing called a stored procedure in SQL. And basically, if it's triggered, then it goes ahead and it does that action. The way it works with the stop loss is if the price of the stock is at a certain level, then it can activate it. And if it activates, there's two kinds of stop losses. One is a stop market, and it basically just takes the next bid. And the other one is a stop limit, where you actually set the price that you're going to ask for that stock. So, if the stock goes down, for instance, it's going to if it like today on Tesla, I set my stop loss at 665. So when it rode down to 665, when it got there, it just immediately sold out. And that way, of course, I was able to preserve that $30 approximately in gain, from a few days ago. That is a stop loss. There's a stop limit where it does the same thing, but except it gives you the ask price. So those are both good ways to protect your profit. I also like to buy stocks that way, because I typically don't want to buy a stock as it's moving down. I want to buy it as it's moving up with power. So the way that I do that is with a buy stop limit order. And that way, if it moves above a certain price, I offer a certain price to buy it at. If we meet on those, then I buy it. And that way, I don't buy a stock that's faking out. I buy it right as it moves above the stop loss, and right as it moves above the buy point. And that way, you can sometimes get very good buys at the right price, because you don't have to watch the screen all day. You basically let the computer do the work. The question, Katrina Gonzalez is MARA. Let's look at MARA today. MARA. See if we can find anything of interest here. All right, and this is Marathon Patent Group. This is sort of a penny stock. What I mean by that is that it sells for under $10. I typically don't like to buy stocks under $10 because that level is critical in terms of funds buying in. Typically, funds will not buy stocks under $10, and it's funds that move stocks. So I don't particularly like stocks in this price range. So let's look at the weekly chart. Unfortunately, overall this is a downward trend, but we have had some upward motion as of late. Again, we always want to buy when there's upward motion. Now, that was the bad. Now the good is that it's got a relative strength of 99. That means it's doing very well today, and there's a lot of buying going on. And we had this huge sales spike, which is looking good. Let's see if there's any way that we can kind of look at this as a checklist. Well, it's got a 77 checklist, which is very good. 7 out of 9. Now, the only thing it's really failing on here is the number of funds the price is under $10, and we have an EPS rating of greater than or equal to 80. So it fails on those. But other than that, it looks fairly good. Now, the question is there a place to buy this thing? Well, let's look. It's just too spiky for me. I want to see this thing come down a little bit. I'm looking at, I wouldn't buy this, it's the pseudo buy point on this would be about 680, but it's beyond that. So let's let it pull back possibly to about the 680 level. If it reverses off of this 21-day line here, this is the green line, then you might have a buy. But right now, you're going to have to watch this stock, unfortunately. You're gonna have to watch list this one. I'm afraid. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Oh, Kian, Mega Homes. What is it? Okay, that's on the split. I'll have something for the split. So, but Kian can probably answer that. Splits can be very, very lucrative if you buy them and then sell them right into right when they're going to split. Okay, question. June, thoughts on DQ? I think this is a Chinese stock as well. So let's look at DQ. And yeah, new energy company, 57. Looks like it's moved. Huh, interesting. Okay. Well, China-based company. And photovoltaic cells. The question is it viable? Well, the last base on this, third stage base on the consolidation was 48.73. It's 57.02. So it's extended, and there has been some selling as of late. Now the question is, will it pull back and bounce? I don't know if it will. But it's got an excellent checklist. It's got a 100% checklist, and we have increasing fund ownership. So this is something that we probably want to put on our watch list at the very, very minimum, because this looks like something that is viable. Unfortunately, yeah, it is. It's a gap up today. Yeah. What do you know? It's a gap up today. Absolutely. Look at that. 99. Wow. You know, here's the thing. If it pulls back to about here, well, if it pulls back to 48, I don't think it'll pull that low, but let's see how it opens tomorrow on Monday. This may just continue to go right up, as I'm looking here, but this may continue to go right up. Just cannot tell on this one, but definitely a good stock. I wouldn't buy it. I would try to see if it pulled back a little bit and then reversed. If it reversed above about 48, it pulled back to about 48 and reversed. I don't know if you'll get it at that level. Then you could probably buy this one. So, you know, that might work really well for you at that level. Okay, thoughts on Apple for Monday? Okay, great question. Let's look at Apple. Is AAPL is the, of course, the symbol for Apple, and of course this is very, very widely held, as we all know. This, I think, this was the largest holding for Berkshire Hathaway in the last quarter. So, tremendously large. It's pulled back a little bit here. I'm looking at the daily chart, but we still have this nice trend that started at about 112, where it sort of made its low, and you know, hopefully it's moving up from there. I do think it's going to bounce on the 21-day exponential. Here's how I'd buy this one. You know, if it pulls back and it pulls down to about 125, I think you could buy it at that level. You know, I think 125 for Apple is really is a critical level. If it pulls below that, we might have a trend reversal. I don't think we do right now. I think that, you know, as long as it stays above 125 in these few weeks, then I think we're on an upward trend here. But you know, if it pulls back below that, maybe not. So the ideal place to buy this, probably wait for Monday, see if it pulls back to about 125. If it reverses, then I think you might have a buy. I'm in Apple, and I do think that long term, you know, I think it's finally starting to change its characteristics and move higher. So that's a good thing. Oh, hey, question on RVP. This is one of my favorite cheapy stocks. It's Retractable Technologies, or RVP. And RVP is based right here in Little Elm, which is in a Dallas suburb, and it's a kind of an interesting company. They are trading quite, you know, they're quite volatile and they're relatively thin, so you got to be careful with this one. But I like this stock above, you know, above about $10. So here we are right here, and we've pulled above that $10. So is it viable at this point? Well, we've had a lot of buying here. Now, one of the things about this stock that I find fascinating is that most stocks have this little negative, a minus in a circle, and that means insiders are selling it. This one, on the other hand, has a plus in a circle. That means that insiders are buying this one. So, very, very interesting stock in a lot of ways. You know, I do like the medical area as sort of a hedge against some of the techs. I'm a little heavy in the techs, and I like this one because it's medical. 7 out of 9. Very, very good. Let's look at the funds. The funds are moving into this one. So I think that this is, I definitely, you know, I'm not in RVP right now because, you know, this daily chart is just looking, is looking bad. But here's what I think is going to happen. It's pulled back right to the 21-day line. If this thing reverses like this on Monday, then I think you have a buy. So what I would do is possibly set a buy stop limit order at about $12 and about $12. And what will happen is if it pulls that and it pulls up, then you're going to get that upward momentum. So that's how I would play. That's how I would play RVP, and I do think that it is likely to reverse higher. But right now it's in a downtrend, so we don't want to buy it in a downtrend. But I do think that if it reverses and then reverses higher, then you could buy it on that. And the way I do that, the way I buy on those reversals, is that I wait for it to pull back below a key level, and the 21-day line is the key level, and then I set a buy stop limit order, basically. And the way I would set this is, buy X number of shares, at and the buy would be like $12, and then the limit on that would be about $12 plus 10 cents, or about $12.10. So the way I would place that order, buy stop limit order, with a activation price of $12 and a limit price of $12.10. And that way, if it pulls above that $12, immediately we will offer $12.10 to buy that, and it probably will be taken. The reason you want to do it that way is because you want to buy as it is moving higher, and that way you can capture that momentum upwards. All right. So, question. Yep, there we go. Okay. Tesla. Okay, Tesla pulled back to 6. So let's look at Tesla. And I will probably be buying Tesla next week again. I know that sounds... now Tesla is moved to... Okay, so I was totally wrong. Okay. Tesla has moved once again to a new high, 695. And it looks as if, it pulled all the way up. Now, and look at that. Yeah, this is the buying at the very end of the day. So then it's an Easter egg. So yeah, I probably sold a little bit too early there, but I made my money. Now the question is, how will it open on Monday? I suspect it's going to open down on Monday, and I probably will be a buyer on Monday. But it didn't quite make it. I think that Tesla will close above $700 this year. We'll see. But currently, I think this is the last trade at 695 at 39.10. So I do expect to see some selling on Monday. I think that we will see some selling, but who knows? I mean, it had a tremendous spike in volume. So in volume here. So very volatile stock, of course, but you have the ability to make some serious money on that. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Tesla gapped down. Did it? Let's see if that's the case. I don't know if it did. Let's look at the weekly. No, it's gapped up. No, it definitely gapped up. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens on Monday. I think the markets are closed, so we won't see this until until Monday. But we may have another opportunity on Monday to make some more money on Tesla. I think it probably will pull back a little bit, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Jim said it was splitting. Okay, I think it was a mistake. I made a mistake on that. The 24th for Nike on the split. So it's announcing. Nike is announcing their earnings today. So I made a mistake on that. Apologize for that. Let's take a look at this one, SFT, and let's see how that one looks. SFT. Shift Technologies. Wow, I'm not liking this chart, unfortunately. Yeah, this chart is just not to my liking. Let's start it with a weekly. Yeah, unfortunately, you just don't want to buy a chart like this. We're moving downwards. Just not the time to buy. It's got a relative strength of 4. And let's look at the smell test. 4 out of 9. That just isn't good enough. So I think you want to. I don't think you want to own this one. Yeah, I don't think SFT is the one that you want to own. It's just not a good stock, and the chart tells the tale. IROC. Let's look at IROC here real quick. Oh, it didn't come up. Is that right? IRQC. QC. Pardon me. Nope, didn't come up either. So we'll go move on. Okay. QUAL. Is that Qualcomm or is it QCOM? I think you mean Qualcomm. That. Qualcomm. Yeah, Qualcomm. I think you mean Qualcomm on that one. This is Qualcomm, terrific stock. It's up $3 today. Very nice relative strength at 86. By the way, for everyone that's been playing this for a while, this has an excellent checklist too. 8 out of 9. The funds are in it, looking really, really good. We have some nice earnings there. Earnings there. The volume's a little bit low, but still very, very good all the way around. And it's 45% funds are in this, and we have a nice trend. Now, there's really not a good place to buy it. I suggest that you might want to put on your watch list another stock that I haven't been playing for about 2 years, but I think that it's starting to come back and come back well, and that's Micron Technologies, symbol MU. Let's pull that up here in a sec. See if we can get, there we go, Micron. Micron has been, really, really a laggard for a long time. The last cup, 4-stage cup buy point was at 63.42. It's at 41.46 right now, and it's just basically come up from this cup with handle first stage at 54. So this one might, in the near future, provide a good opportunity, and I think it's well worth putting on your watch list. I'm going to put this on the watch list here. It has a cup formation with a handle, and this is a classic cup with handle, and a buy point of 54. It's extended above that, so really the best place to have bought it would have been in this range here, from about the buy point up about 5%. But it looks like it's maybe pulling back to the 21-day line. If it pulls back to the 21-day line and hits this and then reverses higher, that may be a very, very good opportunity. That would be at about 68 or 69. So that's one you might want to possibly watch list, because I do think it's it's got some good potential. Now I want to show you another stock which I think has a lot of potential, and I'm just going to pull that up here in just a second. It's CHGG. Oops. CHGG, and this is called CHGG, and they provide e-textbooks, believe it or not. But it's got very, very strong. It's got very, very strong fundamentals. The symbol on this one is CHGG. Now, currently, it's selling for 87.60. It's up about 12 cents today. But the buy point on this one, we're just right below the buy point, is 89.82. So we're very, very close to that, and it's been moving up with this kind of unusual double cup action. This is actually really more of a this is really more of a double bottom, and these can be very, very good when they come up. Now the place to buy this is 10 cents above 89.99, or about 90.09. That's probably where you want to buy it. And that will give you be right in the buy zone. So if you were to do a buy stop limit order, this would work very, very well. And this is a very well rated stock. It's 91 relative strength, and technically this is a very, very good stock. It's got a 88 checklist, 8 out of 9, and the funds are moving into it very strongly. So this is one you might want to put on your watch list. I'm going to be putting this on the watch list. CHGG. Okay, so let's take another question from TikTok. All right, HYLN. I don't know this stock, HYLN. HYLN. Take a look. Oops. HYLN. Okay, provider of electrified powertrain solutions. Right, so this is interesting. No, this is not a stock that you want to be in. This is just not a good stock. So let's go to the weekly chart first. And as you can see, we have a downward trend. This is the first thing that you do, by the way, everyone. You should take a look at the general direction of the stock. This is a downward trend. It's got a 62 relative strength. That is not good. Only 4% fund ownership. We do have decreasing fund ownership. So this is a definite no-go. Don't buy this one. Not a good stock, unfortunately, for this one. So, but I do appreciate the question. How's Costco looking? Let's take a look at cost. And Costco should have a very strong quarter. This is traditionally for retailers, this is their best quarter, the fourth quarter. Of course, they won't report until next year. But here's the problem with Costco, based on what I'm seeing right now. Based on this chart, it does have an upward trend, which is a good thing. But the relative strength is only 45. I'm not liking that. We do have some nice increasing. We do have some nice increasing sales, which look good, but and the checklist is good, 7 out of 9, and we do have increasing fund ownership. But one thing that just really doesn't appeal to me is the fact that we've got this relative strength of 45. We're just not, we're not buying in that top half of the market. So I would watch this as Costco, but I think it looks like it's starting to trend lower. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, it's starting to trend lower, and so I just, unless it bounces off of this 200-day line, and as you can see, it's done that several times. It's bounced off that 200-day line. Unless it pulls back to that 200-day line and bounces, I'm not buying it. I would not buy this thing over about 335. That would be my maximum on this one. So I probably wouldn't be a buyer. I would be a buyer in this one. Costco. All right, Qualcomm and Nike. We did Qualcomm, Palantir. Okay, let's look at Palantir, PLTR. Let's take a look at it, PLTR, and bring that up here. This is the weekly chart. Looking at first. Looking at the daily. Okay, there we go. The weekly. Yeah, there's a bit of pullback. We're still really strong with a 97 relative strength. This week we're off about 4% at 25, but I still think I still think it's holding strong. Maybe I'm overly optimistic on it. There was a downgrade on it, but I do think I do think that we have this sort of wedge here, and it does look like it possibly could either go up or down. I think it's probably likely to move higher, and this is based on this trend line that I'm drawing here. So the question is, but I wouldn't buy it now because we're pulling back. I do think that if it pulls back to the 21-day line and it reverses, that's a potential buy at about 24, but we have to wait for it to go below 24 and then come up. And a good way to buy it, of course, is with that buy, stop, limit order, which allows you to kind of do that automatically. Okay, let's see. TIBO. Let's see. TBIO. TBIO. Translate Bio. Yeah, this one was a good one. I saw this one. Let's see how it's doing. Kind of a high flyer. Okay, now we have started a nice trend. I mean, look at that, 92. We have a nice trend going. We're pulled back a little bit to the looks like to the 21-day exponential. Yeah, we pulled right back to the 21-day. If this thing reverses higher, this could be a buy. The level that it needs to exceed really to really buy this is 28.09. We're currently at 24. So, and we have some strong activity there. So let's look here. Yeah, look at that. Look at those sales. They're just going up. I love companies that are increasing in sales like this. Yeah, the checklist is excellent. I'm going to put this down as one of the ones I'm going to be possibly watch listing because it does look like this one's pretty good. TBIO. I'm currently not in it. TBIO. But I do think, based on this chart, I do think it's buyable above about 25 on a reversal. No? Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's at 25. It's pulled up to 25. This is a reversal right here. Yeah, this is a reversal right here. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you could definitely buy this, you know, possibly on Monday if it moved above that 25. So, you know, a buy stop limit order at 28 would probably be good. Probably 27 would be better. You know, I think you could do a buy stop limit order at about 26, and that would be a good one. So that yeah, that might work. Well, let's see. I've got a few more questions here, and then I'm going to have to go. Let's see. I am holding Tesla. Last minute. Fingers crossed. Okay, I think you did pretty well. If you're holding Tesla, let's take a look back on Tesla, because it did shoot up right at the end. Now, you do want to protect. You want to try to protect your profits, because I do think it may pull back. Oh, look at that! What do you know? Okay, I didn't see that. Okay, interesting. It pulled all the way up to 695, and then it's pulled back. Interesting to 658. Yeah, that's part of the reason I put that stop loss in there. So, you know, I didn't get all the blow off, but I got a little bit of it. So that, okay, so it looks as if that is indeed what happened. Yeah, there was a lot of buying and then selling into that right at the end. So still not bad. I do think that you know, we may have another opportunity to buy Tesla on the other side on Monday. So still very, very good. LCA. Let's take a look at LCA real quick here. Let's see if we've got anything there. LCA. Okay. You know, I don't know this one. Oh, it's a blank check company. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't really give you a read on it because it's a blank check company. I just don't know what's going to be buying. That's the main thing. You know, the SPACs can be very good, but you know, but they also can be not so good. So be very careful. ROKU. This is one of my favorites. I haven't built a position in ROKU, but I'm looking to, because I think this. I think ROKU could be the stock of 2021. You know, I think even at 340, I think it's still a good deal. I mean, look at this chart. This is the weekly chart. It's up $9 today, or 2%. It's got a 95 relative strength. The reason this is such a significant stock, I believe, is because all of the companies are going to have to come to ROKU to buy time, because they now are the new cable system. So that looks very, very nice. But is there a place to buy this? That is the question, and I just don't know if there is. You know, there really isn't a buy point. There really isn't a buy point. It just doesn't have one. So I'm afraid you're going to have to watch this one until we have a base pattern. Unfortunately, this one is a little bit too high to buy at the time. So that's very frustrating when it comes to that. All right. Well, I haven't been able to get to everybody's question. I have to go a little bit early because I have an appointment. Here we go. So I will be back tomorrow. I'll be back on Monday at 2:30 to 3, and hopefully I'm going to try to answer some of your questions online. You know, over the weekend. I got a little bit behind on that, and I want to get ahead on that. If you need to ask me a question offline, super easy to do. Just go to www.DallasTradingFloor, and then and hit the Ask a Question, and you'll be good to go. And I try to get to as many of these as I can. The website is becoming more popular, so I am running behind, and I apologize for that. And let's see, we've got several more. Let's see at the end. Yeah, okay, we did Palantir. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to have to bid you goodbye. But I will be back at 2:30 on Monday. See you then. Happy trading.